Forms are a great way for us to be able to capture data from our users. And we've seen already that we can auto-generate screens that allow us to create, update, or view data from a given table. But what if we want to create custom forms that aren't based on a schema, or maybe are based on a schema, but we want them to be part of a screen rather than the entirety of the screen? Let's look at different ways that we can create forms. I'll create a new screen, so plus, I'll be a blank screen this time. I'll just call it making a form. When I create a screen, I automatically get a navigation link created. And you can see for multiple words, it separates them with hyphens. So if I click into navigation, find that particular link, I can change it to be something a bit more readable, potentially. I can also set the RBAC level and say only power users should see this and be able to access it, only admin users, or so on. I can also move these links around and that'll be updated in my nav. And on smaller screens, that nav bar will be behind a burger menu that pops out and slides back again. Let's add a form. So I'll click on Add Component and I'll find Form Block from the right-hand side. As with all our components, we can drag and drop this, resize it. Maybe on a bigger screen, it only takes up part of the display, but on a smaller screen, we want it to take up the whole display. We've got complete control over how this behaves and looks at different breakpoints. It's a good idea to rename my form. Let's call this appointment form, and I'll update on the left-hand side. The table I want this to look at is my appointments table, so I'll click on Data and Appointments. I want this to be a create table. I want to be able to create new appointments with this. But you can see I've got the option to update or view data instead. For title, I'll say add new appointment and say fill in all of the details below. Below that, I have the fields. These fields have been read from my schema, and based on the data type I've set in the schema, Budibase has inferred what component best matches. So here I've got a appointment date, and it's a date picker. Text, and a select for this particular dropdown. The titles of these fields are read directly from the database. And so I call this appointment underscore date in the database, but my user doesn't really want to see that. So I'll press the cog and I'll change that to appointment date. This doesn't change the backend. All it does is change what the user sees. For placeholder, I might say, when do you want to come in? For reason, I'll do the same thing. I'll click the cog and set the reason to be a capital letter. Why do you want to come in? I can also set my validation, and I can say that I want the maximum length of this to be, 100 characters. I can set a custom error message that says, try to keep reason short. Max is 100 characters. For the pet ID, I want that to be auto-generated when I select the pet, so I'll get rid of that. And for pets, again, I'm going to put a capital P in here and then which pet do you want to bring in? I can decide whether or not the form itself is disabled, which I might want to happen at a given point. The save button has a cog as well. And if I see what actions, it has lots of actions. It validates the form, it saves the row. And then because the form might be in a modal, a side panel, a form, or a screen modal, it tries to close all of those. We also have the ability to collapse, which is if we want multiple buttons, we could have a save button, a delete button, an update button. We can have multiple buttons inside of here, but we just have one button for now. As with most of our components, there's styles specific for this component. So maybe the button position wants to be at the top instead of the bottom. The size wants to be large rather than small. We can sort of decide how we want to lay it out. And if we can change some colors, oh, not very nice. If you want to bring your own custom styles in, there's an ability at the bottom to edit custom CSS, and that'll be injected to this component. We also have conditions. Conditions allow us to decide whether or not a component is visible, invisible, or have a certain setting. So we could say we want to hide the component if the current user's role maybe is equal to a admin. Maybe we don't want admin users to be able to use this form. So again, if we preview this, I'm an admin, so I can't see this. If I try to view this as a power user, the form is going to be visible. We can fill in our form. If I try to type in no message, then I get it was required, and that's because the database field is required. If I try to type in a really long message and try to save, it's going to tell me try to keep short, max characters is 100 characters. If instead I type in my shorter reason, I'll click save, that's going to submit the row and clear my form. Now for this form, it's quite straightforward, it's quite short, but if you have a more complex form, you might want it to reveal itself slowly to our users. And we have a component called multi-step form that allows us to do just that. Let's have a look at the multi-step form. So my multi-step form, again, I'll set it to my appointments table. And I'm going to have 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. First step is just going to be the appointment date. I'll get rid of the reason. I'll get rid of everything and just have the appointment date. I'll update this. I'll say the label should be appointment date. Get rid of a placeholder. And we'll just have in the step description, we'll say, when do you want to come in? Step 1. Then it has a next button. So in step 2, we'll say, why do you want to come in? We'll only show the reason here. Again, we'll hit the cog and just change it to a capital R and get rid of the placeholder. And then we'll go to the last step, which is our the pet. Which pet do you want to bring in? So we can preview that form. And we can see that we can set the date, hit next. Oh, we want to change the date, so we can hit back and that data is still there, so we can update it and change it over time. Hit next, add our reason, and then select our pets. In this way, we can reduce the cognitive load of our users to have to see all of the data at once, separate our forms into meaningful steps, and have more control over what we show and how we show it. If neither of these blocks do what you want, and you want to create a form that maybe is not built on a schema at all, you can instead add a form instead of a form block. We can have forms that don't have any schemas, but we can use any of our data to create a form. So say I wanted to create a appointments table again. It's got an initial form step because I can create multi-steps in here. And it's got sizes that I can change. Inside of this form then, I can add a whole lot of things I might want to collect. Maybe I want to post to some API, or I want to gather data in a freer way, maybe attachments or something. I can then set up field groups. I can say, oh, could you update the form fields based on what the schema is? And it'll try to do that. But in this way, I've got much more control of how things look. So maybe I think actually for reason, I know it's formatted as a short string on the back, but actually I want to add a long text for that. So I'll go and I'll find the long form field. I'll bring it up to my form and I'll say that this should match is going to be for the reason field. So 3 ways to create a form. Our form block for simple create, update, and read. Our multi-step form block, which allows you to split your form into multiple steps. Or the form itself, which allows you to have ultimate control and use fields like our QR scanner, our S3 bucket upload, and other things that might be needed for your bespoke and particular use case.